All right. So this should be working quite fine. You guys should be hearing me well. Muru, are you here?
Yes, hello.
Hello, so Muru is here. All right. Hello, everyone, and welcome to this finale of the Guild Wars 2 Raid League. So this is the end of our Winter 2021 season, and we are most pleased to have you, all these amazing viewers, to watch our 20 plus teams fighting their darnest on both the Largos Twins and Adina. Muru will be with me in order to comment, analyze the performances of our teams for the Largos, and Mela will be joining me at the analyst desk for Adina. Mela Newskin, indeed. This is the crossover you guys didn't expect, but truly deserved. All right, without further ado, we're going to be jumping right off into the Rating League this season. And the team at the bottom of the leaderboard for this season on the Largos Twins is none other than Shades of the Shadow, SOS. Some newcomers, onto the Rating League. They've done their best, they've done their best for this try nonetheless. There are some very good players, and we should still applaud them for the performance. What boss is this? So, Temporary Shadow, we're starting with the Largos Twins. Now we'll be moving on to Cardinal Adina. Lack of purple class, isn't it crazy? No Chrono Stack this time around, even though it is a boss which is prone to Chrono Stack. Well, not Chrono Stack, but Mirage stacking.
There's gonna be a lot of Condi Chronos later on, don't worry guys. Chronos
Oh
will
my
be
God.
stacked.
No, not like this. But yeah, anyways, for the time being, we will be going quickly, as usual, over the performances and stop only at the top two teams in each of our leagues, which are the Bronze, Silver, and Gold League. For the people who are unaware of how everything works, Linka and the rest of the mod team in the chat can give you the pointers, and the bot will deliver better than we may. Alright, at the 19th position, we celebrate the performance of Primordus goes rah! Can't make the sound that well, but the heart is in it. They didn't stack the purple class too hard and relied on Mirages over Chronos. This is a rather classic comp, if I may. All the classes should be pushing out some good Condi damage. Naturally, we celebrate this. At the 18th position, we find Commanders, some of the most prevalent team on the Rating League. They've been around with us for a very long time now, so definitely we should applaud them for all of their efforts.
I want to say something about Commanders first, actually, because I was specifically asked to shout this out.
Oh my god, they're bribing you? You're getting paid for this?
So they ran a Boon Thief on this boss, actually. So it's a not well-known strat, but the second boss and the boss on the right give Detonate Plasma. So they decided to run a Boon Thief. However, their video didn't work, so they couldn't upload that one and had to go with a weaker try that they'd done before.
Alright, I mean, checks out, they still provided a video, a log, they got a kill. We should congratulate them for the fact that they've gotten it. And to be very honest, that time is already quite good when you see the average performance that player can pull out at this boss in a pug. Oh my god, I said the P word. It's terrible. Moving onwards to another P word, it's Pragmatic Raiding, another team that's been around for quite a while. They don't believe in purple supremacy either, and they place 17th, getting a good 18 seconds on the Commanders by running the red class, which is not Elementalist, the little red class. That's gonna be quite... I know, a Scourge? Okay, Muru, do you have anything about that Scourge?
The Scourge is, I'm assuming, for survivability, because
that is...
it's a very safe class, and in the hour in the Raid League, it's really, tricky to go for a risky comp, especially when you're not confident on the classes. Like, Mirage is a very tricky class. So having something like Scourge to keep you alive instead of getting hit by the hurricanes or waves, it's nice, especially for a team that just wants to get a good kill in that hour.
Right, I will wholeheartedly believe you because I would have never run that here. You know, I only see Scourge when I do Soulless Aura. This is not where I was expecting to see the dark green.
A lot of pug groups run Scourge in Portal Strap because the last platform's enraged. So
Okay.
having that Scourge barrier is super nice to keep you alive.
Alright, I 100% believe in your words, my friend, as always. Anyways, moving along as we are, on the 16th position, we have Relax and Ignore DPS. They are the first true purple stackers. We see no less than 7 Chronos, 2 Druids, because, well, gotta keep them Chronos alive, huh? And a Firebrand, which I assume is Condi, then, because they already have 2 Druids, or... Yeah, that has to be a Condi Firebrand.
Yeah.
Jesus, that's... You know, that's the color that haunts my dreams, actually my nightmares, ever since I've been part of the casting team of the Raiding League. I see purple everywhere. It shines in the eyes of death as I close mine. Moving onwards to 15th position, Hirvio por nuestros pecados, Flying Spaghetti Monster. With a time of 3 minutes and 50 seconds, barely any faster than the previous team, they took 3 less Chronos, but decided that 2 Mirages would make the cut and brought back the Berserker in the team, whom I assume was there for the banners as well as some pretty good Condi burst.
I'm glad we stepped back a bit from the Chrono stack, but I can see it going back.
I mean, it is going to be here. We already know about it. I mean, you can't outrun the Chrono stack. It is always here. It will follow you to the depth, you know. It is going to be around. Still, we keep on going, and at the 14th position, we find the Alliance de Dragrimar. This team has also been around for a very long time in the Raiding League. Actually, I think that they are the longest running team in the Raiding League, as they're the team of one of the admins who was the original founder of the Raiding League, Kalidor himself. 7 Chronos and an added Mirage. You know, that's even more purple than what we saw about 2 teams ago. They decided to keep the double druids. Double druids are definitely good to maintain some great healing at the splits, so we can but commend that.
From this point, it's probably worth mentioning how the record strat works. Of you generally split left-hand side with 6 people and right-hand side with 4 people, and we're going to start seeing that with the Condi Chronos and when we watch the POVs. But I thought I'd get it out of the way now. And then on the right-hand side, you tank the boon steal, so then they get quickness and they take more damage. And that's why Chronos are so powerful here, because confusion with quickness even stronger. Which is what we will eventually start seeing in the POVs, but I just thought it was worth commenting on why Chronos are so prevalent here.
Yeah, that's some actual big brain straight. I mean, this is actually something that is very interesting with Guild Wars 2 theory crafting. You know, like you don't try to just play whatever has the biggest burst damage in a queue. You actually fit whatever you're playing to the encounter to bring out the best in each of the classes. It sadly seems, however, that the purple class is always the best one. Yet we move on to the 13th position, go even further beyond ripping that Akira Toriyama fan art. Definitely. Akira Toriyama being a fan of Guild Wars 2 Quaggins, as it shows, they have 7 Condi Chronos and 2 Druids. You know, that is quite strong.
Yeah,
I don't know what else to say. Muru, I'm lost. I don't know what to say at this point. We're going to see the purple class on every single comp. We know it.
Yeah, the difference between these, the rank 13 to rank 1, is going to be not just the execution. There's also some very small strategies, which we'll start seeing in the POVs. Because there's actually a surprising amount of variance that you can have with what you do, what builds you run, and how you play. It's surprisingly interesting.
Alright. Well then, moving onwards to the 12th position, we have Quantify, which is the Aldi version of the more known Quantify guild. You know, this is KT, who is known as the better QT. Sometimes it takes a KT to be the best QT. Anyways, they were on exactly the same comp as the previous team, but decided that they were going to be just a few seconds faster. Sorry to whoever was bringing exactly the same comp, getting the worst time. This is, once again, 7 Chronos, 2 Druids, for exactly the same reasons that Guru explained earlier. the last or QT. Sorry, I don't have the American version of our European jokes. I'm sorry. Moving
The
onwards to the
Walmart KT.
the Walmart KT. That actually makes me feel bad. moving onwards to the 11th position, we find Codicus Ministry CM. Actually, a whole 10 seconds faster than Quantify with exactly the same comp once again. So it's down to, I guess, individual gameplay on these because everybody's just running the same, you know.
Yeah, these guys said they weren't that comfortable on Condi Chrono, so ended up running a Condi Chrono tank, which doesn't actually lose much stats. It still keeps its Condi damage and expertise. It just loses power and precision, which isn't that important. However, it basically forced them, which they said, to go a 5-5 split. So they probably died more of an even time, and as you can see, it's a difference in strategy, which maybe gained them that time because we had more people on one side, which wouldn't have been as slow as if they ran the 3 chronos and 1 druid on the right-hand side, which is the record strategy.
Once again, very quality analysis coming right from Muru. Thank you for being here. At the 10th position, we have Lonely Raiders in your area. With a time of 3 minutes and 4 seconds. They are one of the POVs we'll be watching because they rank second to the bronze leaderboard. Congratulations to them for deciding to play exactly the same thing as everything else, proving that you do not need to be original in order to be good at the raiding league. Congratulations to Lonely Raiders in your area. Let's share your point of view as Muru gives us the best insights.
One of the things which probably a lot of the top teams are doing will be starting on the platform. So what you can do is reset and start on the platform, so you can cast your stuff in advance and get attack the boss straight away, rather than in pugs where you have to dive in and Another thing we see here, which is really useful, which is not done in pugs, is controlling the dashes. So the way that the dashes work is the first 2 dashes target the furthest away person, and then the final dash targets the tank. So what the tank does is it steps away for the second dash, and then it essentially does a double dash into the wall, so you don't need to worry about where it's going and hitting your team. So it's just nice, organized team play, which you don't see in pugs, but you can see in these good teams who know what they're doing.
That is really great. Also, isn't one of the conditions, I'll let you help me out, scaling off of movement? I believe confusion is whenever you use a skill. However, torment ticks harder when you move, doesn't it?
Yeah, that's why Mirage used to be so strong, but people have shifted towards Condi Chrono, which doesn't apply as much torment, but it still is a nice little damage up for if the boss moves around. It's still some damage, Another thing actually, which is why confusion is so strong here, is as we'll just see right then, they stepped in front of Canute, and then the boons got stolen, which is what I mentioned earlier. And giving quickness makes attack faster, and then confusion procs even more and more and more. So it's such a nice strategy which the record did, and it's surprisingly easy to pull off, albeit a bit risky, because if you tank it and it takes all your boons, it's gonna hurt a lot.
Alright, I have an extra question for you, Muru, since you're my prize analyst today. Care to explain why the druid is running a smoke scale and ensuring that they blast a smoke field? Like the area stealth procced earlier. Could you explain why to the team?
Smoke field is there for as a finisher for bolts or whirls, so projectiles or whirls, sorry. So when Condi Chrono applies a blind, it also has a trait called Ineptitude, which also applies to confusion. So all their pistol bolts have a chance of applying blind for even more confusion, which is why Smoke Scale is ran.
Alright. Thank you for the high quality analysis. That's exactly what I was expecting from you.
Don't worry,
I personally wasn't sure.
We'll see a lot more usage of the fields. It's what will differentiate some of the higher teams, of using the fields at the right times and organized play to try and get as much blind or as much confusion as you can.
I mean, that's
and what we see here as well big thing which some of the lower teams will do is staff 5 under the boss when it's CCing, because the bolts hurt a lot. So putting a staff 5 underneath so all the bolts turn into healing bolts instead is really useful for a team which is struggling to survive.
Yeah, I can see that a lot of people are on the ground. That is no problem, as they managed to get a very clean kill right there. Alright. Whoopsies. So, moving on to the rest of our presentation. We have at the 9th position Cormier, you know. The Crossroads Inn is right here with their Eponym team, getting a time of 3 minutes and 2 seconds and getting the first position in the league. They're once again running exactly the same composition, and we will have a look at their point of view right after. However, one thing that I can already say, and I haven't been paid for that very sadly, yet I'm still cheering for them, is that if you, right now, watching the Raiding League on Melo's channel, are interested into joining raids and you have no idea where to start, well, if you're on EU, you're a lucky person, because you can join the Crossroads Inn in order to get started. They organize multiple times a week quality trainings on different tiers of difficulty for the bosses for you to learn everything. That's gonna be it from me. I'm not paid to shield, that's all they get. Moving onwards. Moving onwards to the point of view, we will be enjoying their fine performance. Let's get started. Okay, so once again, they started exactly on the platform as you said. We didn't get much of a warm-up before the fight opened right there. And I assume they're doing exactly what you explained on the previous part, you know, like tanking the dashes on the edge, which is very clean.
You see those feedbacks there?
Yeah.
That's what I was talking about regarding controlling the fields. So what they've done there is ran focus instead, and focus has no conditions, so you might be a bit confused. And it's a strat which MCA came up with recently, which is really imaginative, and they broke a few records with it, so it was really beautiful. But by using your focus 5 inside of an ethereal field or a smoke field, which is what the feedbacks are there for the ethereal fields, the well finisher from the focus can throw out confounding bolts for loads more confusion. It's actually 13 confusion if it's inside the hitbox, and then it resets because of Chronophantasm for another 13. So it's insane burst of confusion, which is why focus is ran, and it's really tricky to get it off all the time, but when you do, it's so much damage.
Okay, everything I understood from this was that Chronomancers are basically the only class that you can use to mine cryptocurrency yours to, it being the Ethereum, and it's so confusing that the boss damages itself to death. And I'm confused as well, but that is pretty good.
It's a really beautiful strategy. Props to MCA who came up with it. Focus on ethereal fields to burst so much confusion. It's just super nice. Another thing which a few of the other teams didn't quite look at was vulnerability on the boss. Mm-hmm. Because you split up with less people, the Storm Spirit won't give permanent vulnerability. So the focus actually really helps with vulnerability as well. It's one thing which quite a few teams forget about or didn't look at and just assume vulnerability will be fine. But Condi Chrono doesn't have any apart from focus, which is why the focus strategy is also another nice add-on as well as the confounding bolts.
It's just really impressive that they managed, to figure everything out like this. I mean, of course, with the help of MCA, and then decided to apply it to such extent in this encounter. It is very clean. Like when you see the ticks of confusion on the boss, it goes over 30k. It's really crazy.
You can see some crazy numbers sometimes when the confusion's being burst. It's like 100k in one shot.
Okay, yeah.
And then jumping over to help out their less playered side it's also a nice thing, because one side tends to finish faster than another side.
Naturally. Alright, I mean that was a very clean run, as we could have expected from watching the people there. Okay, moving onwards to the silver part of the Raiding League, we have Apple Core getting rank number 8. 3 minutes and 1 second. I can see in the chat right here that that people are saying I called it a clean run, even though they had a lot of downstates. That's still pretty clean in my book. I mean, they got a time of nearly 3 minutes. They're really very comp. They did everything quite correctly, you know. So I would say it's clean.
At least 5 people went dead by the end of it, which is what would happen in pug runs. So I'd say that's clean as well.
I mean, if they touch the ground and you get them back up, it's clean. Okay, it's clean. Alright, so Apple Core running exactly the same comp. They're barely faster, you know. Actually, right now we're at the point where some people would have maybe wanted to be just a little bit slower, so we could have watched their POVs in there. But yeah, Apple Core getting I think like 2-3 seconds better than the Crossroads in right there. But we won't be watching their POV as we move onwards to Legendary Inside. They get a time of 2 minutes and 55 seconds, which is 6 seconds faster than the previous time, and that gets them rank number 7. The team comp is exactly the same, and we can expect that the gameplay is also the same, maybe excluding some down stats. You know, we'll give them that. Maybe they downed less, and that's why they got the extra seconds.
So these two teams, Apple Core and Legendary Inside, didn't actually run the focus, which we saw before.
Oh.
So they just stuck with the pistol torch as the standard, which it's completely valid. It's completely viable. It's still a very strong build. It's just they decided to, instead of, you know, going for the feedback with the ethereal fields, they just decided to stick with their signet, stick with extra stats, and just play better.
Okay. I mean, that's really impressive that they get better time by running the slightly inferior comp. Anyways, we move onwards to position number 6. It is Grand Theft Auto GTA. I really love that guild name. It's so creative. I'm loving this. It's great. They run exactly the same comp. Who would have thought? Who? And they get exactly 1 second better than the previous position. Congratulations to them.
Likewise, they didn't run the focus. Same strategy, just better.
Same strategy, just better. You know, they're
1
just
second better, but better.
Yeah, they're just getting that extra second, eh? Okay. Moving onwards to position number 5, we have Wonderful Ideas for Execution. Wipe, whom we're used to seeing in the Gold League, with a timer of 2 minutes 53. So once again, just 1 second faster than the previous team. They have almost everybody giving us some point of views. Sadly, we won't be watching any. Shout out to their probably very good computers, because yeah, that's a lot of POVs.
Sorry.
Onwards.
With Chrono as well, minimum settings, because you won't see anything.
whenever I have a Chrono stack, when I'm raiding, I need to turn my game to lowest settings on like 720p. If I want to have frames, you know, if I want to have more than 10 frames. But yeah, moving onwards to the 4th position, we have Will Raid for Food. There is a lot of things they would do besides raiding for food. A timer of 2 minutes and 34 seconds. That's such a huge difference. We had 3 teams before, just 1 second apart from each other, and now we get that 19 seconds jump. It's the same comp. Are these some of the focus users? Could you tell?
So I took a look. These guys were full focus and torch. They didn't go for pistol at all, unlike
So
some of the other teams which
they went right in, right?
Yeah, they went all in. And they, so as we'll see in their POV, they worked out very, very well as a team and tried to work out where the fields will be. So we can see, sadly we can't see the Druid's POV, but
what a shame.
We'll see that the Druid doesn't use CA4 because it's a water field.
Oh, that is some crazy optimization.
Yeah,
okay.
So they tried to optimize as much as they can, make sure it doesn't, you know, steal.
Okay, that's actually massive.
Yeah, and also another thing about the Druids is they only run sword. They don't run axe because they don't want to steal the field projectiles. So a brief explanation on how the combo fields work, because they're not actually used that much, is 5 people can proc it. However, projectiles are considered their own entity, so only like a certain amount can proc it. It's a bit confusing and requires a lot more in-depth explanation, but in other words, it will eat up too many of the combo fields, which you want the focuses to hit instead. That's why they run sword instead, just so they can still do damage, but not steal the fields.
That's some very careful crafting that went into it in order to make sure that they wouldn't, ruin their own attempt. And that is crazy.
It's beautiful optimization. I tried to see if the druids had a POV, to see if they tried to line up the smoke scale with the focus, but sadly they didn't have any POVs, so I couldn't quite confirm if they did, but I can imagine they tried.
I mean, since that is what makes the difference, I'm pretty sure all the team up there in the leaderboards made sure that this would happen. And as Mela just pointed out, TM, people be flaming druids for using CA4 at this encounter. Muru, sometimes your analysis can be a deadly weapon.
Oh no, I've yet to see. I've yet to see heal thieves on Matthias. I'm really worried about that.
Oh boy!
I can just imagine a heal thief getting flamed because they're playing record pick instead.
The craziness that is.
Yeah, another thing about the fields is you've got time warps, you've got the smoke scale, obviously, you've got the Alak wells. All of them are the fields for focus 5s. It's just, it guarantees, well, not guarantees, but makes it very, very likely that you will get that finisher on the focus and do loads of damage with it.
Okay, and that is Nikare dead, and Knut is just a few seconds away from meeting the same demise. That is truly crazy.
Oh, they didn't skip that CC there. Just the 1%. That's another boundary which we'll see some of the teams come across if they can skip that last CC in terms of DPS, and they can get a much better time from it.
Whoopsies. Okay, no, we'll rank for food. Okay, we got that one. Sorry, lads. The video came up twice. Stuff happens. We now move onwards to the third position, which is given to Stuffed Opening GG. A time of 2:26. In the chat they're saying 2:25, but I guess they got rounded the wrong way. I am sorry. Sometimes it rounds up, sometimes it rounds down, my friends. Anyways, the third position is yours.
POVs and look at the times exactly, frame by frame, to make sure that it's the exact time they say, so...
Okay, just trust the organization, trust the admins. I trust the admin. I jump into the streams and I'm like, blind, I trust the admins. That's exactly how it works. But yeah, with a timer of 2 minutes and 26 seconds, Bootlow 1 second to make Scuffed Opening GG happy, they run exactly the same comp. As one would expect. Yeah, I'm running out of ideas of ways to make that entertaining. There's so much purple, my eyes are bleeding. But, you know what we will do, Muru? We'll watch that POV, because that's what we do here at the Rating League.
EG is I think I've said this during their first week, but it's a really good Rising team, because they used to be silver, I believe, last split, and now they've just been going up and up in the ranks, and now they're top 3. Which is really good and really well executed.
Now, the video isn't exactly centered on my screen, but I guess it's alright. Stuff happens.
As we can see here from the Druid POV, finally.
Yeah. I'm loving this. No CA4.
Yep, no CA4.
No CA4.
No CA2 as well, because that's a light field.
Yeah, I mean that's really, really good.
Yeah, all these guys are full pistol and torch instead of focus, because the pistol can also have projectile finishes, which is more safe, more guaranteed DPS than the focus. And obviously they must have just executed better and more reliably.
That's pretty mad, actually. That's pretty damn mad.
Yeah, completely skipping CA4 and CA2 just to make sure that they have the ethereal fields and smoke fields instead of water fields and light fields. It's such a small thing, but it's very big when you look at it.
Yeah, however they're running the trap, which brings out a water field, there is only so much it can be.
Yeah, sometimes you need that trap to cleanse the condies because you just
really need to. Yeah, and indeed, just like you were explaining, running that sword warhorn so that they don't steal the projectiles.
Yeah, it's a nice strategy. Keep it as optimized as they can to try and get the best time. It's nice.
In the chat, they're saying CCAM for the reveal so that the boss doesn't stealth. Do you think that is the case, Muru? Is that the purpose?
No, I think it's just for... Oh, actually, I think I realized something. So a lot of people have a misconception of Oh, maybe it was for the reveal, actually. I don't know if that actually works.
Okay,
But
we need to ask the team. Someone from GG in the chat, step
it's for
up
the
and tell
reveal,
us, is it for the
100%.
reveal?
Okay, that's very clever. I never even considered that.
Oh boy, that is such big brain.
I did not realize it could reveal him. That's very, very smart.
These guys, we're thinking in 3 dimensions, but they're already in the 7th one. These guys
Sorry,
have
I
cleared
didn't read the
Wing 8
description.
a year ago, and we're still not aware of it. This is mad. This is crazy. Nikari is literally melting at the hands of GG, and Kenneth is just 5% away from meeting the exact same fate.
In Rage at 1%, which shows they were very close in terms of kill time for each other. Which is a very good thing that you want, because if one team kills faster than the other side, it's wasted time, so you want to optimize as fast.
Okay, the PowerPoint resetted, so I need to quick move onwards, but not too much, so that it doesn't completely skew the position. Can I get some movement? Okay, good. 4. Okay. 3. Position 2, we get into the Gold League, and that is a congratulation to Calamity, one of the fastest rising team. There's a white space on the right, we can see the Windows bar at the bottom. Yes, I am aware, Link, I pointed it out as well, very sadly. Apparently it exited full screen by itself. Sometimes it just lives through their own life. Best international guild Calamity, people are going mad in the chat, that is what I like. That's what I like. Okay, they traded a druid for what I assume to be a boon thief bringing healing. Maru, is that really the case?
So yeah, the second.
Right? Oh boy.
The second one, I think, I think is the one on the right hand side. Can't remember their names, confused. But she can give detonate ectos, so you can get those boons, and you can, have more quickness because it's more quickness than what the Chrono would offer. But it also lets them completely skip STM on Chronos. So one thing which all the other teams have done and the record did was run 2 STMs to try and guarantee that quickness, because just time warps isn't quite enough. So by running the Thief, you can just have more quickness for the whole squad and not worry about STM and just go full on damage. So it's a very strong thing. Not only that, but they can also run smoke fields. Yes, exactly.
So
very powerful smoke fields.
Like when I was young, my parents told me, don't do smoke. Right now, right here, my thoughts are being rewritten. I realize that smoke is powerful. Smoke's strong. Okay?
Smoke very strong.
But yeah, let's have a look at their POV. Congratulations once again to Calamity. Like that's pretty crazy. Like they came into the guild, the Raid League not long ago as a new guild, and they've been rising and doing amazing things each and every time. So yeah, let's have a look at that wondrous POV. Now, I don't know why the POVs are breaking my full screen now. This is kind of annoying, but it is what it is.
Yeah, we see there smoke-filled spam, all those confusions. Yeah, Boon Thief is a sort of tank. It's pretty nice. And one of the good things is you can get the detonate ectos from the pre-event. So if you're doing the pre-event, you don't need to go in and kill the first boss and then pre-steal. It's a nice little touch.
There's so much optimization goes through this. Amazed. This POV is the most realistic I've seen so far. You can see that the effects and animations have been turned quite low. The character models are also turned near the lowest. Like we can only see a few of them. This is truly realistic. This is a real computer right there.
Minimum settings.
The minimum settings are showing.
Yeah, no, they do. So another thing they do is split who runs focus and who runs pistol. So the right-hand side, the one with the thief, all run focus because they've got smoke fields, which is super, super strong. Whereas on the left-hand side, they only run pistols because you're not guaranteed because he moves so much and you don't have as many smoke fields. So it's a lot safer to run pistol there with guaranteed damage. So it's super nice, super optimized, splitting who runs what. It's just very, very well done kill.
This is the kind of theory crafting that I truly enjoy, when it really makes a difference, which really shows you who is the best, how they're doing it. It's truly crazy. People asking for screen shake and action cam POV, but what I'm thinking about is that 80 plus frames per second. Oh, 120! Oh.
It's because all the
mad.
clones are dead, that's why.
Muru, please let me dream. It dropped to 60, but it's okay. It's just okay.
All the fields, all the clones. Just no FPS is going to be allowed in this.
He's still over 60, and I'm really admiring this. Nikari actually melting slower than Canute here. Although, quite a difference from the other teams we had thus far.
Yeah, because you get the quickness and the focus with the Thief on Canute, it's going to be much quicker. Whereas Nikari doesn't have that focus bolts and those smoke fields, so it's going to be quite a bit slower, sadly.
Alright, and number one, the usual, the Kings, the ones and only. They're always delivering. They're at the top. They always have a few extra seconds over anyone. You know? They just get them. Right.
The CA as well. We ended up running the same team as them, which shows they did some really good theory crafting.
Alright, and now it is time for Muru to go full shill. I mean, this is his POV. He knows everything. He did this once again, making the top, the number one position. 2 minutes and 7 seconds. Rank number 1 on the Gold League. Congratulations, Muru. Congratulations, 17 Elitists. Muru, do you have anything to say before we watch your point of view?
We, I believe, have beat the record by about 5 seconds. So, yeah,
good job. Actual clap. Actual clap. I want to see some claps in the chat right now. They have beaten the record. Should I say once again? Should I? Do I?
One of the things which, not just our team, but I can imagine a lot of the other teams were worried about is the record was done pre-Chrono F2 nerf, so you could get F2 much more often on the old Chrono. Then they did a pretty significant nerf where you got quite a few extra seconds cooldown. So everyone was like, the record is kind of fixed, it's hard for people to break it. But that's why you have to try and make completely ridiculous strats like running a Boon Thief to try and make that work. And we didn't even think we'd break it, so we were really proud of breaking it.
Truly amazing. Truly amazing. Congratulations, 17 Elitists. Let's watch our POV, and that's what we do right now. Let's get going. Oh, people are missing your animation at the start. And no, they're watching it. Jesus, this is crazy. And we're back to a true, genuine full screen. This is perfect. No, oh my god. That full third aspect ratio. Who did that?
I want a refund.
I want a refund right now. This is not what I signed for. I was told we had the best technology at the rating league. What is this?
One of the best memes about this kill is our Thief running the wrong utility in Scorpion Wire.
Jesus! I mean, yeah, why would they? What is that? They could have taken no. Could they have taken an extra smoke field? No, they already had.
No, they were going to run Scale Venom for vulnerability run.
Oh, yeah. I mean, since you said earlier that vulnerability was extremely important once you split.
Yeah. So it was like, you could see him hovering like, wait, what? What have I done here? We just thought he had to have his POV shown because he messed up.
Guys, can you imagine a bigger W, a huger dub than a team breaking the world record by 5 seconds and then casually coming up and being like, wrong utility, by the way, lads. We weren't at full power. This wasn't even 1% of their full power. You know, they struck Canute with the little finger and we're like, don't get him now, will you? Crazy fellas.
It was our best kill as well with the wrong utility.
Oh yeah. My god, man.
Also, one of the things you can see is he's running haste, which gives him loads of quickness. So when he casts it just before Canute steals to guarantee that she still has quickness when she goes to the next platform, which I think is one of the big difference makers between what happened between us and CA, because they lost quickness uptime compared to our kill where she has almost permanent quickness uptime while she's, you know, in combat.
Jesus. I mean, that is a crazy kill for sure.
Another minor thing about the Boon Thief, which I'm pretty sure CA came across, is Detonate Ectos can give retaliation and resistance, which you really don't want her to steal. So you have to time it very, very carefully when you detonate, and then might becomes an issue because you're like, oh, but my side won't have might because, you know, I can't detonate. So it's a really difficult balancing act, which I'm sure, again, CA came across it's so tricky to time properly, and so many times, as we can see about here, she gets retaliation, and if our Crones are casting Scepter 3, they just die. There's nothing they can do, they just straight up die.
And this is truly mad, to be fair. Like, I mean, it's just crazy that you guys managed to do it so well. Had such a good run, even though you were running utility. Like, truly, this is the raiding league in a nutshell. Every time we do a session of the raiding league, we see people improving on the mechanics, theory crafting the best comps, and figuring out exactly which mechanic they can not just exploit, but like master even better than whomever made them at ArenaNet to win. You know, that is crazy. Congratulations.
I just want to answer some questions in the chat about our kill, if that's all right. So one of the questions was if they're running pistol. So like CA, the right-hand side was running focus, and the left-hand side was running pistol, simply because of, you know, you can't guarantee the finishes on a moving boss, and the thief is on the right-hand side for smoke field. And another thing about the 5-5 subgroups was on the second platform, we want the druid to give might to the right-hand side, even though it's going to the left-hand side. So we put him in the group with them, so he can give all the might with, you know, Warhorn 5 and stuff, to guarantee they have might, since the thief can't detonate ectos. So it's kind of like a, you know, optimizing to guarantee as much might as they have. And if anyone looks at our log, they will see how the druid had greatsword, just to guarantee that they have vulnerability, because as I said before, vulnerability on the left-hand side without focus is a problem. So greatsword on the druid of all people guaranteed the vulnerability.
Jesus, just how much time did you guys spend just throwing ideas on paper instead of playing the damn game?
So
Jesus,
much clash in our team about
God.
Did we run the thief? Shouldn't we run the thief? The record can't be broken. There was like
the record
quite
can
a lot
be
of clashing.
broken. You know, they say that and then they just break it every month. Like, that's, you don't get me like this. You won. You don't do me like this.
As Satiro, who's our leader, says, it was a big struggle of trying to organize each other because so many people were against doing different things. It was, in the end, it was a beautiful kill, and I'm proud of everyone. But it was just hilarious to see the clash with the organization of like, what do we do? We're running out of might. We're giving retaliation. What do we do?
We're giving retaliation. That's something I wasn't expecting to hear, but once again, very crazy. But you know, with this, we've gone over the twin Largos raids. Like, our 21 teams are shown right now on this table, which you can see on the screen. Once again, congratulations to our winners in each of the leagues, which are 17 Elitists and Calamity for gold, Scuffed Opening, Will Raid for food for silver, finally Cormier Lonely Raiders in your area for bronze. Congratulations to all of you. With this, we're going to be moving on to talk about Adina. I'd like to, you know, bid you the warmest of farewells, dear Muru. Welcome Mela by my side at the analyst desk, if you will.
Hello, good evening, guys.
And Mela has joined us. We are swapping the scene right now. We have Adina as a background, and we can get started with a second part. So Mela, do you have anything you'd like to say about Adina? Some personal experience? Anything you'd like to share with all the viewers right now before we delve into the wondrous performances from our people in the Raiding League?
Yes, before that, I did want to congratulate again 17 Elitists for the world record on Largos. And yeah, I did have, in the past, I was part of a record that we did with Lucky Noobs on Adina. Oh, my mic is a little bit low apparently.
Yeah, I am actually boosting you right now in Discord, you know.
Nice, I am boosted. So, I do have some personal experience with records on Adina. I did have a record with Elena a while ago. It wasn't very optimized, and we ran Dragon Hunters, which was, as we'll see later on, not, you know, the best choice for many reasons, but there is, well, the optimization I've seen on this Largos from the Raiding League this month is really well done. It's really good. There isn't, you know, that much optimization on Adina, I would say, but we're gonna see a lot of different classes, a lot of different comps. Some of them, of course, are a little bit safer for, you know, times that weren't as fast. But there's some good stuff later on as well, and maybe another world record again in the
That would be dope. That would be really crazy. Like I would be so thrilled to see a new record. Anyways, I guess without further ado, it is time to look at the Bronze League together, Mela. And coming up at the 21st position is Fail, Learn, Improve, Succeed. With a timer of 4 minutes and 58 seconds, their guild name truly, encompasses the mood of the Raid League. You may fail, but you're always going to learn, improve, and succeed. This is great. What is that comp, though? This?
They run 3 Power Chronos, Soul Beast for damage, Druid Boon Thief. You're gonna see, of course, you're gonna see a lot of Boon Thief. You're gonna see a lot of Alakrans, because Boon Thief is just really good in this boss. It's always been popular, unlike Largos, where hopefully Pugs won't start playing it now. And some people are gonna run. Yeah, we have a Reaper. We have a bunch of classes. Reaper is actually, it's not that bad on a lot of bosses and raids in general, but obviously in something that is a little bit more organized, Reaper would not be optimal.
Yeah.
And I'm not exactly sure what one of the Soul Beasts might have been playing like some kind of support build as well. I'm not exactly sure.
By support build, you mean bringing in some stances to support the team, maybe cleanse the conditions or something?
Yeah, I don't have a POV, and I didn't really understand much from the log either, but yeah. We're actually going to see something a little bit weird later on with Soul Beast and Spirits.
I'm looking forward
some people
to this.
didn't actually use Spirits on Dina to get the extra damage from them, but
okay.
Yeah.
Well, that is a very good introduction, and now we can actually, skim through the rest of the teams with everything that you have in build for us right now. Coming in at the 20th position is, once again, Shades of the Shadow. Congratulations to them. They bring in the blue class that you were talking about earlier when you were mentioning the record run with Alain.
Yes, so on this fight, because of the Boon Thief, you can actually, you have every boon in the game, besides Alacrity that is provided by the Alacran, of course. So you can actually play a different variant of Dragon Lantern, for people that are not familiar with it, that runs Virtues. You can actually keep Aegis uptime very, very easily. Therefore, you can actually get extra damage from it. So we will see a lot of blue classes. And of course, Soul Beast can provide 1 Wolf Pack, which is really good on stuff like Guardian DH because of the traps and everything that hits very, very quickly and gets a lot of value off of it. So we do also we also have a Power Chrono, just because Power Chrono is very good.
Strong, yeah, quite so. 420 though, I guess that was pointed out in the chat. Congratulations, that's a cool time to have. Moving onwards to the 19th position, once again, actually, Primordius goes round. They're a little bit early, on all the Primordius stuff that's coming in, that's where the story is taking us. But actually, they're the first one to bring in the dark orange comp, or light brown, I don't know how you call it, but it's the engineer. The Holosmith.
We have the Fidget Smith, as the icon
Fidget
suggests. So we have 3 Holos, and this is exactly what I was talking about earlier. So they decided to run with a heal ally instead of a druid, and you would think that they have a Soul Beast, that Soul Beast can actually bring the spirits instead of Druid, but they decided to just fully on-drop the spirits entirely and just sacrifice the spirits and take the heal ally and just go without them. So the Soul Beast is actually doing a lot of damage, but is also providing less group DPS, which is not optimal. I think if they actually run the spirits on the Druid, they could have improved their time by quite a lot, but I'm actually really happy to see different things, and also I'm really happy to see Holo, because Holo is actually really, really good on this boss as well. Truly, and it's also a lot of fun to play. So
it is one of the classes I have issues racing against when this boss. I've never been able to play a Holo in my life. Too many buttons, the rotation goes in all directions, like my brain can't follow. But yeah, it is very good to see different team comps. Like right now, we're getting some very cool stuff, and that's why I like the Bronze League. You know, they are not the ones to stack the purple class. They just go with what they're good on each of the player. You know, what they can master, what they can deliver on. That is all the power to them for that.
Yep.
At the 18th position, we have Thirbio por nuestros pecados, the flying spaghetti monster, with a timer of 3 minutes and 44 seconds, which is barely a minute slower than the record run. They went for triple Dragon Hunter, triple Soul Beast, the Boon Thief. So this actually follows exactly what you were explaining, Mela. You know, like you're bringing the Soul Beasts because they have some good damage, bring some very good group DPS boosting via one wolf pack. Yeah, the Dragon Hunters are just very strong burst here.
So yeah, this starts getting into, well, we do have double thief, but this does start getting towards more of a like a usual comp that you see on this boss. You have the Virtues Guardians, you have Soul Beasts. You don't see the Druid, but they do have Frost Spirit because one of the Soul Beasts is actually bringing it in. And yeah, this is starting to getting a little bit more, well, you know, on Largos it would be a little bit more towards a purple class, but on this boss it would be a little bit more towards a really optimized run in terms of classes.
And this is looking pretty strong already. I'm expecting quite a bit of the submissions to be around that time, which we are going to check right now. At the 17th position, just 6 seconds faster, we have the Alliance de getting, you know, a pretty good run. They brought back the purple class. You know, I'm always wondering, you know, when people are using the purple class, you know, in the Bronze League, if it's a matter of feeling better playing it, or if they're just trying to squeeze whatever they can from the best DPS, the best possible DPS class.
Well, later on, the phases on Adina start getting really quickly. Quick, sorry. And the split phases also start getting a lot faster. So Power Chrono is gonna start feeling a little bit odd to run. Like if the phases are a little bit longer and the split phases are a little bit longer, it kind of feels like Power Chrono is a little bit more useful. Like you don't need cooldowns like now. You also will have CS of cooldown like more often to get like burst phases and similars. So I guess it does in a way make sense for them to run Power Chrono or like even like Con Deep like Professions because the phases are a little bit longer, but the faster the phases get, the more like burst you want. And you also gotta keep track of the split phases because the split phases are really important to make the fight faster.
Yeah, like the split phases, it depends where you're going in order to get rid of the hands, which order you want to get them in. There is quite a bit of optimization to be done there as well, I guess, with the placement of the pillars, or maybe just ignoring the mechanic altogether once your DPS gets high enough. But that is something we will see probably in the upper silver to gold. Right now we're still in bronze. At the 16th position, Pragmatic Raiding. Double Berserker. Okay, that's one thing I did not expect to see. Even though Berserker has some very strong burst capabilities, I was not expecting to see it stacked right now. I mean, not
Berserker
stacked, but you know, running double.
Berserker is actually really good on this boss. Back when we were doing the Adina record with Dragon Hunters, we actually considered multiple times going with a lot of Warriors. Warriors is, I mean, I consider it anyway to be the Guardian with banners, is what I call it very often. So they are actually running two. You would imagine that they would be splitting the banners, but they actually aren't.
Oh.
So I would have liked to see the banner split, but they have one warrior running both banners and the other one just going ham on DPS. And he's actually done a lot of DPS. He's up there.
Yeah, I mean that's what was just said in chat right there. The DPS Berserker is #1. This is kind of crazy, you know. That's really like a blast to the past, to say so. Moving forwards to the 15th position, however, is, you know, the Walmart QT, the budget quantify. It is Quantify KT with a timer of 3 minutes and 34 seconds. They're running once again some rainbowy comp. a Berserker, what I assume to be a Boon Daredevil, 2 Core Guardians, 2 Holosmith, 1, well, Alacrigate for the Alacrity, of course, and 3 Soul Beasts. Mela, would you care to explain why a Core Guardian would be run instead of a Dragon Hunter or Condi FB? What's the difference there?
I mentioned earlier that you can actually play Virtue's Dragon Hunter in this fight,
Yes.
or you can actually drop the Dragon Hunter trait line and just play with Virtues instead, so that you run all of the good trait lines for Guardian, and you have a lot of burst damage. So Dragon Hunter without traps is, well, a little bit useless. That's why you would go with a base guard. So you would use traps only once on the actual boss, and then you would be losing on, you can't use the traps in the split phase, so you're only out-attacking in the split phase, or only using Greatsword 2 on Guardian, for example, or only Scepter 2, depending on how fast the split phases actually are. So you're better off just dropping the traps and having extra stats whenever you use Greatsword 2 in the split phase, for example. Or even just auto-attacks in the split phase. They will do more damage that way. And yeah, you would only be able to use traps once per phase, only on the boss, not even in the split phase, because you need the cooldowns. So, and yeah, the faster the phases gets, the better base guard gets on this boss. But yeah, I would ideally would go with the edge, like pug groups, for example. But yeah, I'm glad that people are actually playing base guard, because it is a core class. People usually say that core classes are not good in raids, but
yeah, people are
true.
sleeping on that. Just, people still find you a little bit quiet. Let me fix you once more. I already have you at 150%. Like, people are underestimating the power I'm giving you right now. But, let's keep going even harder. Okay, have you at 160%. Now, as we move onwards to the 14th position, it is none other than Commanders, with a timer of 3 minutes and 29 seconds, which puts them at about 30 seconds slower than the record run, which is already quite commendable. They went for 4 Soul Beasts. They brought 1 more of them. Still the very classic. I think we're going to see that in pretty much every con. The Berserker, Boon Thief / Daredevil, Alacrigate trio. That's a staple at this point. Double Holo, probably because they can play the burst rotation quite well. And that Firebrand, do you reckon it's healing or?
So the Firebrand we saw earlier, it was actually healed. This one is, I believe, Condi, but I might be wrong on that. I'm actually gonna double check. It might actually be Power.
Damn.
Instead of Condi.
Power Firebrand. Okay, that's
actually,
something I'm unused to. Yeah.
It's actually Condi. But yeah, Power could also be an option because the fight is very bursty. But Condi Firebrand is also extremely bursty because it's all burning. So yeah, it's running Power Firebrand. Sorry, Condi Firebrand again.
Yeah, I mean, it is quite strong. I believe this is one of the POVs we will be watching, so we can, delve a little bit deeper into it. All right, let's get going.
Okay, so they seem to not go for any kind of precast at the beginning of the fight.
Oh, actually, that's okay. I'm like so not used to seeing Alacrigate gameplay like this, so I was a little bit taken aback. I expected them to be running Power, and it's a Condi Alacrigate.
He's running Shortbow Ventari.
Yeah. Like, I would have assumed that Power would give him a little bit of an edge there, since everything is all about the burst, but okay. Okay, so
I guess it might just be support playing heal instead of Condi.
Quite possibly. See, we can really see the usage of the reflect / projectile absorption here, which is key, to avoid your team being completely wiped out by the hammer, which goes some massive damage. Actually, I've seen a few pugs downing to this mechanic. It's just the hand sniping them from away.
Yes, that's why a lot of teams, the logs that we were showing earlier, the comps we were showing earlier, they were actually running Heal Ventari, which I believe this POV is showing as well, but it's running with a short bow. You can actually run the Ventari bubble, you can heal people, you can negate the projectiles. They
It's an
also
all-in
had
one.
a bubble from the thief, I believe.
Yeah. Now, I guess the Firebrand can also use the one from the F3 tome, which is
Yes.
yeah, like it is very easy to set up as well. What I'm actually enjoying right here seeing is we're already into some of them POVs where you have the players who aren't trying to do the mechanic. That's what we were saying just earlier, the split. They're not trying to hide behind the pillars and do the mechanic. They're just staying and bursting, even though they might down to the retail. Like they believe in their own healing more than enough to do so.
They went for a two-way split instead of going for a 4-1, which we will actually see later on.
Okay.
And yeah, this is a little bit of a safer comp with the Ventari bubble, Thief Reflects, Firebrand. Firebrand is really, really good in this fight as well. Can provide stability in groups that are not organized to run around the bridges and not get knocked back or off the platform.
Okay, it's just been confirmed in the chat by Evo, who participated in that kill. The Renegade is indeed running full healing, and the Firebrand, is Condi because that didn't impede the backup reflect and the bringing of the Aegis. So yeah, it is working really fine.
It is an interesting comp, yeah.
I mean, it is performing quite well, to be fair. Like, they got that position in the leaderboard because they were running that, and they were running it to a pretty good extent. I mean, their damage is nothing to sneeze at either. Like they've been managing to skip the pillars every time so far.
Yep, their DPS players are.
Yeah, they're delivering for sure.
They are delivering, yeah.
So that was quite a clean run.
They only had 2 down states, which is not too bad.
Okay. Yeah, so now we move onwards to the number 1 in the Bronze League, the 13th overall position on the leaderboard, and that is none other than Relax and Ignore. Even though their Largos run wasn't so good, they managed to get the top position on the Bronze leaderboard, and we can but commend them for that. 3 minutes and 14 seconds is very, very good.
There's a lot of soul beasts.
Yeah, like I was actually gonna get to that part, and they're running the Core Guardian for probably the reasons you've explained at length just a few minutes earlier. There was just one question, just wondering about Mela. Isn't there a point where running extra soul beasts is actually not that interesting? Because I'm pretty sure that other classes can burst just as well, and once you bring stance check, once you have spirits and everything, is there really a reason to keep adding more soul beasts? Because we saw in all the other runs that, let's say, a power berserker or something like this could actually out DPS a soul beast. What would you say?
So soul beast can bring stance share, and it can give 1 wolf pack to your entire group, or well, give 1 wolf pack to a lot of people, by making the subgroup be a 7, like with DPS players, so they all share stance share with each other. You only need 3 of them, I would guess, to make it permanent. So when every time you're hitting the boss, you have 1 wolf pack on your group. If the phases are a little bit longer, because DPS players aren't delivering as much, or because they might be running, healing renegade instead of a power renegade, the phases might be a little bit longer. Maybe they need a 4th 1 wolf pack. Yeah, it does get to a point where having less soul beasts to give 1 wolf pack, having more other classes that take advantage of it, like power, base guardian, would be better, yeah. Which I believe is something we see a lot with the silver teams. Yeah. We also will see a Weaver for all the Weaver fans in the chat later on.
Yeah, I would actually be looking forward to seeing a Weaver. Like I would assume that very, very quick repetition attacks the best to make full use of the 1 wolf pack DPS window. Let's watch their POV, right? Because that's the one we're going for right now. That's a scuffed POV, where you're gonna be able to see the bottom of my window screen and confirm that We're on the 28th of March. It's kind of crazy. These colors hurting my eyes a little bit. That person went quite ham on their sweet FX settings.
Yep, looks like he's been in the desert for a while.
Yeah. Also, that's actually the combat overlay from Arc DPS that shows you what your skill does and how much damage they're pulling, right?
Yep.
It's looking kind of good right there. Like there is this actually is Guild Wars 2 if it was developed by Blizzard. You see that amount of add-ons on the screen? That's exactly what would happen if it was another studio, you know, pushing the game out.
I like the cover in the top right.
Wait, I didn't see it. Nissan. Okay, I like it as well. I'm into that.
So I'm curious.
Yeah, actually, he recolored Arc to make the Soul Beast purple. That's pretty funny.
Wait.
He made everyone purple.
I remember watching this. Yesterday, and I was very confused because I saw everything purple and I didn't get it.
Yeah, this is actually perfect. Like the meme has been delivered.
Playing into the meme very well.
Yeah.
I'm really curious if they go for a 2 split or for a 4 split here, or they just Zerg altogether, which is looking like it. Or do they have a portal, maybe?
Currently not. I remember actually in some pug runs very early when this was released, you know, using a healing scourge with the portal to but like simplify the encounter drastically. It was interesting to say the least. That damage taken window is also quite fun to look at. The Daredevil truly shining.
They are running Sword and Soul Beast, actually. There was a POV from a previous guild that was actually running Longbow and Dagger,
I guess? Yeah.
on swap. Dagger is usually considered slightly worse for burst windows. Because the auto-attack chain, well, it's longer, it applies poison. Sword is considered usually a little bit more bursty, so we should be able... Well, we'll see a lot of Sword and Longbow Soul Beasts on Adina. But yeah, they are going for a 2 split every single time. We don't see the aggressive and risky, I guess.
Yes. What I'm truly enjoying is how the Soul Beasts are using the Axe 5, you know, the Whirling Defense to get the reflect, you know, like who needs bubble, who needs a wall of reflection, who needs a feedback when you can just use your weapon skills to get rid of the issue. That was a very, very good kill there. We really gotta give it to them. That was clean.
Ooh, downside at the end with the boss. Yeah, that was pretty good.
Checks out. Okay.
Warranty sacrifice.
Now we get onto the Silver League. And at the bottom of the Silver League we have Go Even Further Beyond, which is, I mean, it's one of my personal favorites, you know, guild-wise, because that guild name is just perfect. But yeah, that's our first Weaver, Mela. Aren't you happy?
Yes, finally
Yes.
a Weaver player.
Okay,
So yeah, we have a triple base guard with Virtues, a Boon Thief, of course, Warrior with Banners, a Lachran, triple Soul Beast, and a Weaver, which is the only Weaver we see in Adina, maybe. I believe so. Maybe
what a
I'll-
shame.
I'll be
I hoped
surprised.
we had a POV with it.
Maybe rank 1 is actually 7 Weavers. Who knows?
And I'm looking forward to it now. You shouldn't tease me like this, Mela. That's evil. But yeah, that's you know, that's already more creative as a comp. I like it much more than seeing the 7 chronos that we had earlier at Largos. This is my kind of color scheme, like this. There is harmony in this. But yeah, moving onwards to Apple Core, who got the 11th position with a timer of 2 minutes and 57. For the record, I believe the record run is 2 minutes 48. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe that is the case. I mean, there is a comment that you guys can use in the chat to confirm what is the record run
I
for
believe the
Adina.
record is
228 actually. You know, my
yes.
eyes deceived me, which is why I went to the eye doctor last week. Just couldn't get the new glasses. I'm sorry, chat. 2 minutes and 57 seconds. That's 30 seconds slower than the record run, which means that we might see a team beating the record run.
Ooh.
That would be really crazy. Extra blue classes here. Mela, you know, I mean, you're so knowledgeable about Guardian, so I kind of want, you know, want to get the wisdom from the sage that you are. Why would you run half Dragon Hunter and half Base Guardians? Is it personal preference or just you know, a limit to the amount of Guardians you can run and like share boons from, and at some point it's better to bring the Dragon Hunter?
There was a lot of personal preference on the old Mursat Overseer record when it came to decision between Base Guardian and Dragon Hunter. It was also kind of the same on this boss for a while. I believe that they took the DHs just to have extra damage on the boss, because again, you can still run Virtues by replacing Radiance on DH.
Okay.
So you do get the extra damage, the extra value from having all the boons and the permanent ages. But again, replacing the Dragon Hunter and going with Virtue, so you get all the good traits on Power Base Guardian, does give you extra burst without the traps and gives you a better split phase as well. So I'm not exactly sure why in this comp they would go with it. The DH does get extra value from one Wolfpack, because you do have the extra trap proccing one Wolfpack on top of everything else as well. So I guess I just went for extra boss DPS by running the Dragon Hunter. That would be my guess. But yeah, the comp is pretty standard. Again, nothing.
Like people confirm in the chat that it was a matter of personal preference. Or I mean, it really plays a lot. Like that's what we saw earlier in the bronze tier. You know, people just bringing what they're good on. It's like if you just vibe a little bit more with the Dragon Hunter, you know, that's you do you. People who identify, you know, as I was gonna say as a trap, but a trap user would be more accurate and politically correct. Let's just move onwards to the 10th position before I make a mistake on your stream, Mela. Lonely Raiders in your rear. Actually, yo, went from 11 to 8, so I guess that's a triple ex aequo that we're gonna have right there. Unless some people actually, you know, disappeared from the ranking. 2 minutes and 49 seconds. Bringing 4 of them Virtuous Guardians. So that's exactly what we were saying earlier, you know, that personal preference kicking in, people bringing what they prefer, you know, gotta agree with that. That's kind of wild, actually, you know, when you look at it. I'm really, yeah, we're gonna have that triple exact, or Granth Theft Auto, best guild name in the rating league, trading 1 Guardian for a Soul Beast. And they get exactly the same time. Isn't that crazy?
Yeah,
I really like it when people go toe-to-toe like this. Yeah, go on, Bella, I'm sorry.
We're gonna see a lot of back and forth like this, the Guardian and Soul Beast, with like similar times. At this point, we're getting close to where, like, of course, the time of the kill is counted for across phase 1, split phase, phase 2, split phase, and so on every single boss, right? So, managing to push phase 1 by a couple of seconds, phase 2 by a couple of seconds, phase 3 by a couple of seconds, and finding a better solution for the split phase is gonna be the decider on whether you would want to take a Dragon Hunter for the extra trap on the boss, more Base Guardian for the better split phase. You want to have the extra Soul Beast for, I don't know, maybe taking an extra Spirit for vulnerability in the split phase, like all these kind of things. But yeah, this, having 3 Base Guards, or maybe a Dragon Hunter, having 4 Soul Beast, 4 Base Guards, 3 Soul Beasts, trading back and forth, that would be the comp that we're gonna be seeing a lot of it in the top 5, top 8. Now we are at, so.
And that's really enjoyable to see. To be fair, you know what I'm really enjoying, you know, is that effort going towards the theory crafting, like what you're gonna pick, knowing that there are some mechanics you will be ignoring. That's when Guild Wars 2 becomes interesting. Is there are little mechanics which are actually forcing you into making a specific decision when it comes to your pump. or making a specific decision when it comes to what you're going to manage or not manage. Like, there is so much you can decide to ignore, slash cheese, slash mitigate, and just keep going on. So I really, really enjoy that. The third executor at the 8th position is Legendary Inside, ally, running exactly the same comp as Grand Theft Auto, getting exactly the same time. It would be quite funny to compare the logs next to each other and see if they actually had the same DPS on each person. You know, bar maybe a few differences here and there, but that would be kind of funny to look at. Moving onwards.
Three teams with the exact same time more or less, with pretty much the same comp. Yeah, that's
kind of crazy. Like, it's like really, really goes to show you that there is you know, like this little glass ceiling. Like, some people they get stuck on it, and some people are going to smash right through it and get to the top of the leaderboards. And it's these people that we're most interested in, because that's their performances that are truly awesome to watch. Speaking of which, at the 7th position, Will Raid for Food. Running exactly the same comp once again. Timer of 2 minutes 44, just 5 seconds faster. It's really crazy. We're getting within 15 seconds of the world record. 15 damn seconds. Do you have anything specific to say about this POV, or should we move? I mean, it's the same comp, it's the same boss. They probably handled it the same way, didn't they?
Yes. A little bit slightly faster. Phase 1, slightly faster split phases. That's when it's gonna come down to, until we get into the very, very top runs, where they might actually do different strats. Also, I do want to point something out that I forgot to mention so far. When you would normally run Dragon Hunter in this fight, you might think of going with Elite Trap, because even though the damage from it is not insane, it does add to the extra burst.
Okay.
But on base Guardian, you can either go with Filmwave Rat, which is unnecessary because of the Boon Thief being there.
Yeah.
So you would take the Healing Signet, which passively heals around your entire team, which is really, really nice. And that's exactly why once we started going up on the rank leaderboard of this Adina this month, you don't see as many healing Alakrans anymore, because the healing comes from, well, the region from the Boon Thief and the healing from the Guardian Signet elite skill. And also the Warrior can use Blood Reckoning, of course. The Guardian can use Litany of Wrath, because it is a core Guardian skill. It is not from DH. A lot of people seem to confuse it that it's a DH skill, but it's not. And yeah, the Soul Beast has forgot the name, the leaf-looking healing skill.
Healer's One.
Healer's One, yes. And also you do have Soul Cleave, so healing is not going to be a problem. And most of these teams are running power at this point, I'm pretty sure. So yeah, the elite skill from the Guardian is very, very useful, very, very good on this fight, or even on Mursat Overseer, bosses that have like what doesn't seem to be a lot of pressure, but it actually is, unless you have like a druid, which they don't have, of course. So yeah.
That's what I'm really enjoying, you know, as we're moving onwards. As you say, people are trying to find a way to pick the right skills that are gonna allow them to forego something that was taken as a necessity by the majority of the player base, you know, a healer in the raids. Also, I was wondering if we're not going to be seeing from here on out a little bit of a shift in the picks of DPS, because you would want, I guess, to have your burst available as often as possible. Like, Soulbeast is quite good on that, because technically you get your burst every time you have Sick and back, because everything realigns properly. Still, one Wolfpack is going to be needed for every main burst. You know, when you're going to be bursting Adina and on the heads. I guess on the faster runs it will not align properly. But yeah, moving. You were going to say something. I heard your tongue clapping. Right there.
Yes.
Mela, hit me with the truth.
It used to be the same issue back on Gorseval, actually. Back when there wasn't as many wings released into the game, you used to have a lot of Chronos wondering, what do I do? My continuous flit is not back off cooldown yet. Or another boss is like Sabata, for example, when she comes back. So managing cooldowns when you start getting really, really fast on bosses can be problematic. Sometimes you just end up not casting skills. Sometimes you end up, well, it feels like wasting them, but it's not. I did want to see more Hollow Smiths, though. I believe we're gonna see maybe one later on, but I'm surprised that we didn't see as many Aulos, because Aulos is very, very good. So people play Holo, friends. Holo Smith is very, very good. But yeah.
Play Holo, friends. Mela said it, guys. What are you doing with your life? There is only one thing you have to do. Play Holo. Moving onwards, 6th position. It's Codex Ministry CM. A timer of 2 minutes and 42 seconds. 2 seconds faster than the previous run. And here we are. Extra blue class, one less green class. They went for that Dragon Hunter Guardian split. That's exactly the same comp we saw like 3-4 teams ago, and they managed to get quite faster. It's truly impressive how individual performance really can bring a group forward.
Yep, so they went for, well, the previous team mentioned that they went for Dragonlance for personal preference. So they might have done the same, but they did manage to get quite a, decent amount of time in comparison to the previous ones.
Okay. Well, I guess we're just gonna keep going at this point so that we can see a few more point of views. 5th position, wonderful ideas, poor execution. Wipe this session around. They're a little bit under the weather, aren't they? I'm used to seeing them, a little bit stronger there, but so be it. That's what I guess we could call the classic comp at this point. The triple guardian, 4 soul
very colorful.
beasts. I like it. I mean, I like this so much more than the chrono stacking we had so far. Adina was a welcome breath of fresh air into the raiding league, and I'm very glad that we pulled this boss this time around. And now at the 4th... Okay, go on.
Maybe by the next time, maybe the next raid league event, it might be a little balance patch, perhaps. That would be quite nice. So we don't see as much purple anymore.
Yearn for a balance patch that brings Peak Throne down, because I mean it's purely selfish, egotistical. I don't want to learn. I really don't. I've been holding off from it for so long. I need Aaronet to stand with me for a few seconds there. But yeah, moving onwards to the 4th position, we have Omir, and they have outdone themselves. I'm really, really happy. And we're going to be able to watch a point of view from them, so that's pretty cool. Classic comp though. Classic as in. But yeah, let's dive into that point of view, Mela, shall we?
Yep. Let's get into the colorful comp, Adina.
I like that very wholesome chat cover. That's a cute one. And see, right here we have very high quality timer. It is below the spot where I put the chat. These people, they watch the league. They know where to put their timers.
They know.
Yeah, it's the little efforts that go a long way.
So I do want to see the risky, don't know how else to call it, the 4 split. Let's see if they go for it. I mean, they can only go for it now because the first split phase is, of course, only 2 hands. We can see the Guardians. We can finally see the Guardians dodging. We're going to be seeing this a lot. Every time that the boss phases, the Adina does a little shockwave. And you will remove your Aegis if, of course, you don't dodge it. Or, you get it removed and you reapply it again. But all the Guardians are going to be doing for the dodge so that they don't get the Aegis removed and they can actually keep it 100% of the time. You can see that again after the laser beam phase ends. Let's see if they actually do go for the 4 split. Or they stick to the 2 split like everyone else was going for so far. Go to the center so that they get the ectoplasm share from the thief. And yeah, it seems like they are going for the 4 split.
That's actually pretty clean execution. Like, all hands died around the same time. They didn't need to go back and save someone, which is where I think the difference is being made. I think that if teams maybe a little bit less organized try to do so, they will actually face the fact that maybe 1 down would wipe the entire run. It's like when you're splitting this way, if 1 person downs, you're probably not going to get them back up in a proper time frame.
Yep, they do of course have the rest banner, but they are using it not to rest people. So
Yeah.
Yeah, if someone went down, it would definitely be the end. Again, going in the middle so that the boon thief can share all the boons.
Yeah, that's very clean organization. I like this. See, that is so fast. Their execution is so good right there. Their hands die nearly at the same time. It's so fast. It's so beautiful. I like this. You know, that's maybe not what people learn by joining the Crossroads Inn on their first time, but it is very good. Clean. Completely ignoring the mechanic. Even with one dead, they're still doing this. No problem. 2 minutes and
Sacrifice a
37
member.
seconds. What a good run. Really gotta give it to them. And now,
Also, of course, as Sam was mentioning earlier, that's the training guild on the EU. So if you guys want to learn raids, go on ahead, join their Discord. I'm sure someone can put a link in the chat. Unfortunately, I don't have one, but yeah, moving on.
unfortunately, I don't have one either. You know, usually I rely on the fact that I put there somewhere in my description and like just you know dig through all the panels that are down there. It's gonna be fine. Someone will definitely paste a link from them. I think that they're watching the stream right now. So please, Paula, Costa, Sinek, someone, just you know, chill yourselves out. It's welcome. And now we have the #1 international guild, Calamity. All different nationalities. Pretty much every country of Europe is represented here. I mean, we have more than 30 countries, but who cares? These people are multinational themselves at the intersection of every culture. They eat break inside of their baguette in the morning, and that's how they bring the DPS needed to be #3. Congratulations, Calamity CA. That was very good, very clean. 2 minutes and 36 seconds, 8 seconds slower than the record run. So I'm really hoping that we see someone beating the record in the next 2 guilds. This is very clean. They swapped one of the core guardians for a holo. So that's what you wanted to see, Mela, didn't you?
Yes, not only are they international, they're also multi-classers, according to this. Unlike the other guilds we saw previously, they can actually play Holosmith. And it did deliver, as we were mentioning earlier. It did do a lot of damage. So we do actually have all of POV. Wow.
And that's the true POV right there. You know, it takes an engineer to play the spinny boy. That's exactly what we're gonna see right now. Let's go.
Very nice thumbnail.
I mean, I couldn't quite see it. You know, it didn't move fast enough for me because I need to swap all the scenes all the time. Like I have like 2 computers that I'm moving stuff left and right with. It's kind of crazy.
So they go for a little bit of a damage precast on the boss before the fight actually starts, which doesn't seem like a lot, but it does, of course, help in something like this competition. Also, something that I wanted to mention for the previous POV. On the POV we were looking at earlier, they did skip the pillars, but they didn't skip the one in the last phase. They actually did move out. As you guys will see also on the next phase, they're going to be skipping those pillars as well. I do want to see if... I want to see how many guilds in the top like 5 or so were able to actually...
do the force split.
Yeah. Do the force split and also skip all the pillars, even the ones in the last phase. Because of course in the last phase it does... the pressure is a little bit higher. So... yeah, also cooldowns start maybe being a problem.
That was a close one right there. Like 51%, the pillar AoE was almost filled to the brim. Kind of crazy right there.
It's always going to be that close. So the pillars don't instantly place. They detach from your character and then, you know, they appear on the ground. So it will be very risky to do in the last phase because it is a little bit harder to skip. So I want to see how many guilds actually manage to do. Of course, they did go for the force split here.
Like perfect execution, just like Homia did earlier. This is really crazy. Kind of sad that we didn't get the whole POV like we were hoping. This is a very interesting POV to watch, anyways. Yeah, like they were 8 seconds. Yeah, okay. Like they needed 8% to get into the phase.
They didn't skip these pillars either.
Yeah, I mean they shouldn't have because like they were the pillars came out of the ground. They were 6% away from phasing. So if they had gone for it, that was a guaranteed wipe. sometimes it's better to just go for that little extra safety, the insurance, instead of trying to go for the most perfect run.
For sure.
They didn't go to the middle to give the boons. They stayed together to give the boons. Actually, they just gave the boons before handling everything there.
Ooh, they forced to use this healing segment there.
Yeah.
A little bit scary.
I guess the Guardians couldn't quite manage to keep everyone alive. I mean, there's only 2 of them, whereas we're used to see 3 or more so far. Anyways, that was a very, very good run. So, for sure, we should congratulate them for that performance. And now we get into the Gold League. You know, Mela, our top 2 teams. And here we have Scuffed Opening GG, you know, ranking number 2. 2 minutes 30 seconds, 2 seconds slower than the record run. That's massive. It's massive.
2 seconds off and 5 base guardians.
Yeah, I was gonna let you hype that up. Do you reckon they were lacking a little bit on the healing side and decided to put that extra guardian in? Or did they just believe that they only needed 2 soul beasts to properly rotate the 1 wolf pack for the burst phases? Because I would have expected everyone to run at least the triple soul beast to ensure perfect uptime on that 1 wolf pack in the burst.
I'm actually surprised as well.
Yeah.
But they might have tried both and ended up going with this. Because I do believe that, you know, when we get in the top 2, top 3, people are going to try a lot of different comps. Especially if it's similarities like running 3 guardians, 3 soul beasts, you know, 4 guardians, 5 guardians. But yeah, the signature, the healing skill, sustaining people, and just the damage that Core Guardian can bring is good enough reason to run as many of them as possible. Maybe not as much as Power Chrono, but
yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, PA Victory made a difference. Also, Viterain, like being more precise in chat and confirming that you can't 1 wolf pack every phase when you're that quick. You know, like they turned on the Speedy Gonzalez mode. Nothing to be done right there. They're so fast 1 wolf pack can't keep up. Outpacing the wolves. That's what they're doing. Let's watch their POV, shall we?
Yep.
Let's just move on to that. Okay, that's a scuffed one again, so you guys can enjoy Cortana at the bottom of the stream. That was some real flex. Precasting Scepter with their Legendary Scepter and swapping to that sword.
We're getting up there
pretty
now.
clean. Yeah, I mean it is that little bit of extra effort that makes the difference at the end of the day.
Again, this is 2 seconds off the record, so this run will be very optimized. Precasting symbols everywhere, damaging before the fight actually starts.
The pillars.
Completely ignoring the pillars.
Yeah, that was really. I mean, the AoE barely had time to appear at their feet. They had already phased. It was very, very good.
I do actually wonder, out of all these guilds grinding Adina, I'm actually curious how many people died because they run too far forward in the laser beam.
Yeah, that's one thing. Like, I mean, the laser beam also, I don't know how well that's been fixed, but it's slightly off-centered. Like, if you're too close to it, you actually get hit.
Yeah, it is a little bit desynced.
Yeah, it's I mean, like on Sabetha, they actually managed to make it almost good, but here it's kind of bad. You know, you can get touched by it and die, even though you look like you're miles away from it. Okay.
Gliding.
That merciful intervention, yeah.
They're going for the dodge to dodge a shockwave so they know lose Aegis. Very, very important. Keep Aegis uptime. Also for the split phase so they kill the ads faster.
That is very, very clean. Okay, they're actually doing the pillars here for that 3rd phase. Okay. I guess it's really down to how well they precasted and their DPS each of the phases that made the difference here.
Also, yeah, someone mentioned this in chat. I remember having trouble with this as well, like in the old Adina grinding days. Healing the spirit of the druid well, used to be a problem, not anymore, but the spirits do actually die. You don't have a dedicated healer, so the only heals you really have are from the Guardian Elite skill, or Soul Cleave, but the spirits don't actually attack, so they also don't really get the buff. So it might be a little bit problematic, so that's also another optimization thing. And yeah, leaping into the group with Merciful Intervention to heal everyone up for the last phase. And they did not manage to actually skip the last pillars either. And also leaked who the winner is.
Yeah, I mean, of course, the moment we knew who was second, we knew who was first. That's the way it is, meta, as always.
17 elitists.
Once again, breaking a record run. Once again. I can't fathom how much effort they put into this. They're always breaking the record run. This is why I love the rating league, Nella. Because every time, I get to look at a record being made. And that's crazy. I love that.
2 seconds faster than the previous record, again.
Massive. They ran very classic comps, 4 core guardians, 3 soul beasts. That's exactly what we would have expected. Perfect execution is what I'm assuming happened in that run, and I think a video would speak better than words here, Mela. Let's watch it, and then maybe comment it a little bit after we've indulged in the quality of that run.
So something I did not mention yet about Soul Beast, actually, besides the keeping the spirits alive, because there is no dedicated healer and they might die. Doing the 4-way split, I mean, I guess you could do this in the 2-way split as well, but something you can do on Soul Beast that is really nice and helpful to split it up is you can actually use a Longbow 5 to hit both of the hands on your side, I believe, by casting it in the center, in the middle of them, because the hitbox of Longbow 5 is quite wide, and that does help with the split phase a lot, actually. Now, I do want to see, actually, in the last phase here, if they go for the pillar skip that I believe no one else has done so far.
I mean, like that, right there, that first phase, it was quite close for the pillars, actually. They almost spawned, like they did the shockwave right before they managed to get to 75%. So, I was clenching hard right there.
Going in again.
Okay.
Signature, giving everyone, as you guys can see, they don't go for the 5-5 for the 5-5 split. They make sure that all the guardians and soul beasts are signet sharing for each other, and the one wolf pack is going on DPS players mostly. They don't need to have the boon thief in any subgroup, because of course it gives every boon in the game minus alacrity to everyone anyway. So that's why the subgroups, that's why the squads are made like that. Again, casting the elite skill, leaping into the group to heal everyone back up after the pressure from the split phase. Did it actually move out for these ones?
Yeah. I mean, like, the damage-wise, they needed to. Maybe at some point it's just not worth trying to like stay in. If you're already out of your burst and reduced here to attacking, you just kind of need to step it up. Are they splitting 4-way? Actually, this dude is alone on his. I can move there too. Cross is here as well. Okay.
It does look like one of the hands is a little bit slow, but in reality, it doesn't.
They died at the same time,
yeah. Yeah, they pretty much died around the same time.
And they're staying in. Oh,
like
the balls on them. Okay, they had it down at the end. The balls on them. That's crazy.
Again,
okay.
That is 2 seconds faster than what used to be current world record, and it's 4 seconds faster, I believe, than second place. So congratulations to 7 Elitists for another record. 2 records in 1 day.
These guys are crazy.
Very nice. So
just,
yeah, maybe the next, maybe in the expansion, elite specs that can skip the third pillars will appear. Well, we'll see.
You know what? I know whom I'm bribing to carry me into the Wing 8 when it releases, if it ever releases. Like the 17 Elitists, you know, they can drag a dead weight along and still manage to get some very good clears. So I'm sure it's gonna be just fine. But yeah, actually, once again, really impressive performance by everyone on the leaderboard. It's not only the 17 Elitists who are showing us each and every time that they can either get extremely close or beat a record run. It's everyone who's participating in the league and showing some very, very good quality right there. It's kind of crazy. The only thing I am just a little bit sad with is that, you know, Calamity was just inches away from being in gold tier. They were so close to it. That would have been pretty cool to have like 3 teams going toe to toe in gold. I really enjoy Calamity, you know, challenging the established kings of the raiding league. That is something I like. And once again, very amazing performances. It's really crazy. I think that now we can look at the consolidated leaderboard, which is this one. Yeah, okay. The Season 2 Winter Split Round 3 points. I am reading this properly. We have like the points on left is Largos, middle is Adina, and on the right side is what this session gives to everyone. As usual, Evo can just jump into the chat if he wants to chime in, but Calamity actually making it into gold with their added points, added scores, like consolidated together. They actually make it into gold right there. That is pretty cool. Congratulations to Calamity for you know, stepping up, getting into gold, and that's where they deserve to be. Best international guild, as they say. Even though I'm assuming 17 Elitists is also quite international. Oh, Mela, are you joining the hype with the others?
I'm joining the Calamity.
You're
hype
joining.
as well.
This is amazing, isn't it? Okay, so the complete logs and POVs, as usual, will be released in form of a sheet on the website for everyone to see as the stream will be ending, you know, a bit later in the evening. And before we, you know, get to the end of this stream, there are a few extra things that I need to say. You know, I'm the host right there, so I have a list which is longer than my arm, longer maybe than myself even, of things to say and people to congratulate, thank. So I guess I'm gonna get to that, and then there will be a little extra thing that I need to tell you guys. So make sure to stay tuned. Also, if you are not aware, right now on the Twitter of the Guild Wars 2 Raid League, there is a giveaway going. You just need to follow the account and retweet the tweet in order to enter for a chance to win 100 gold. There will be 5 winners, so of course you still have a chance. Bella, that counts for you as well. You know, if you want to get that 100 gold, if you want to go cheap on your raid food, consider it done. You know, follow, retweet, do your thing.
I'm getting in as well. I retweeted everything.
That is perfect. That's exactly what you should be doing. But yeah, so I need to thank a few people. I've got my notes in front of me because I'm really bad at stuff. I'm trying not to read too much, but there are a few people behind the league beyond what you see every time. You know, I mean, you see my face, you hear usually that you heard Mela, who we're also borrowing the stream from, which is great for us because the quality is incredible. All the emotes are enabled in the chat. The hype is something we couldn't have reached on our own. So thank you, Mela, for providing this area for us to, you know, show off exactly what we've been working on for the past 3 months. So the first thanks, you know, goes to you. Thank you for being the co-host, providing the Twitch channel, being a great analyst. Thank you, Mela.
You're very welcome.
Yeah. And then it is going to be time, you know, I'm going to thank my other co-host, you know, Muru, whom you've heard earlier. Muru, who is also part of that #1 winning team, you know, the 17 Elitists. Muru, the record breaker. He gets up in the morning. He doesn't eat bread for breakfast. He eats a record run. That's exactly what he does. Then he takes a shower and goes to uni, like everyone does. But that's not the only people that we need to thank. One person whom you're used to hear at the end of the streams usually is none other than Evo Kron, who took the head admin position that was previously Zoe's for the Rating League. He checks every single one of the VODs, he checks the times on the submissions, he administrates all the projects, he's basically our thinker, he's the brain of the operation. And without someone as organized as him running it, the only way we would be running would be towards a wall at 100 miles per hour. That hurts me. Next up, we want to thank another boy, Kalidor. We are always, shedding a tear at ICE. They're the team that's been running for the longest time in the Rating League. ICE is Kalidor's team. Kalidor was the founder about 2 years ago of the Rating League projects. We've gone a very long way since then, but he made a lot of stuff happen at the start, and I think he deserves a round of applause for that. He's basically the grandfather of the Rating League. Zoe is the daddy, and Evo is the promised child, and that's exactly what we're doing. Also, he's the one who made the OG logos that we're basically still using now, even though they've been reworked a little bit, so there's also that. He's got that artistic fiber to him. Next up, we're going to be thanking the website administrators. There is Process? I really can't pronounce that name, like Poitoi. I'm just gonna go with Process because that's easier. Congratulations, and thanks to him for taking the website from Roca. Roca was originally working on it, but he is currently flagged, well, not flagged, but overtaken by real life. Roca has vanished into the limbo of IRL. We cannot save him right now nor redeem him, so we work with Process, who's been doing a very good job on the website, and you're going to be able to see the updates from there right after. Also, I see you, Mr. Reds, in the chat with that. Let me just quickly redesign that logo. Best Twitter drama I've seen lately. That was clean. That was perfect. Thanks to whomever started this, because we made such a chill post with Ireland, and then there was this thread that was longer than my apartment. It's not very long, but that says a lot. Of people saying, I'm gonna redesign this, just hold my beer, I'm gonna make it better. Plot twist, it really wasn't better. Moving onwards, however, Good Live is another person we should be thanking. Good Live, who made the bots for to make that wonderful, PowerPoint presentation you guys are looking at, because we're still working with the Office pack. And he also made a lot of automation possible with the submission of logs, working on all of that area. Thank you to Good Life. The other person that we need to thank is none other than Linka. Linka is one of the persons who's been the most invested in the project that is the Rating League. He's done an amazing job in it. He's put a lot of effort in. All the graphical assets that you guys have been seeing, like the redesigned logo, the amazing transition that we've been using in that stream, all of that comes from Linka, God Gamer, crazy boy, amazing graphic artist. He's been carrying the visual part of the Rating League on his shoulders so far. However, I must note though that the overlay for this stream, so the box you can see here, the chat right below me, love that, comes from Mela, and the animated background is the only thing that comes from me. Moving onwards, I guess the last person on the admin team I need to congratulate is myself, which is very weird to do. I basically have the easy job. I'm the host of this, like I'm just Sam. You all are awesome. This is how it goes. So yeah, I guess I've just been there. The only thing that I need to do is to make sure that each Sunday evening, once a month, I'm home. It's literally all I need to do. Easy. Also, yeah, the Twitch bot for Linka. Like, Linka did an awesome job on the Twitch bot. Very good stuff. Just the music is so emotional right now. This is weird. But yeah, now I want to thank our sponsors. I want to thank the people who've been contributing with their hard-earned gold to the Rating League, because there is only so much we can do to keep people interested, but cash speaks much better than words. The cash comes from the Zexy Guild. They also do raid training on EU, much like the Crossroads Inn does. They've been awesome. They gave us a very big donation. You guys are basically getting paid by them. We aren't. We don't take anything from the donation pool, I swear. I'm very serious. And also the Hearthstone Guild has been sponsoring us, and there's a little bit of stuff you will be hearing about from them later. You know, like we're gonna hop off onto Teapot stream in just a bit to enjoy that. Moving onwards, the next contributors I want to thank is Yao. We've had amazing people participating in a raiding league. 17 Elitists crushing records, Calamity being the wonder child, rising up into gold. Quantify, the Walmart version of QT, who's been there, you know, they're here, they're making their name known. That is great. So many people who are always participating, always putting in effort, grinding and everything. They're great, and so are you. You, the viewer, right now on Mela's channel, showing up, chatting, dropping your best emotes, clapping in the chat, y'all great. And with this, I guess I have now, you know, said thanks to pretty much everyone. There is one last thing to announce before we hand the torch over to the British kitchenware, and that is a bonus event. Okay, I'm just gonna, you know, gonna that winter split final points because you guys are gonna see that on the website and everything. That's a lot of colors. What we need to remember is that 17 Elitist, best, Calamity, good rise, scuffed opening, GG, second pros like another guild usually is. The bonus thing is this. As y'all know, some stuff is cooking in the British kitchen where the kitchenware resides. And going along with that, we've decided to you know, drop a little bit of stuff onto people because we love the challenge. That's what we live for in the raiding. And so we challenge you, the teams who participate in the raiding league, to do that Doom CM speed kill. It starts right now. It's boys, y'all can go grind. As you can see, we have timers for it to end. There is no time limit to grind, you know, you can just submit your best kill. You've got that many days to do the very best you can do, and you have a chance to win them 500 Mystic Coins. Yes, that's right, 500 Mystic Coins. Kinda mad, ain't it? It's 50 Mystic Coins per person, you know, and 50 Mystic Coins is easily 100 gold thanks to the barons who keep buying it at crazy prices. So that's great. Y'all, you know you wanna do it. It's pretty crazy. So yeah.
Can I quickly
It's time
jump
for you
in
to
for
get
something,
ready.
Sam?
Sure.
I want to add another 500 Mystic Coins to that.
Whoa! That's mad. It's mad. Mela casually coming in being like, that price pool too small. Let me fix that. That's some nice flex, man. I appreciate that. So yeah, extra 500 coins from Mela, you know, delivering as always, kind of crazy stuff. And that is the reason we ask you guys to stay tuned so far to do all the good things. Right now we're at the end of the stream. We've congratulated everyone. The people. Okay, no. Wait, there was one thing I have forgotten, people. Of course, as you can see on the raiding boat, you can send donations to the raiding league prize pool. But there is also one other thing that I've forgotten to do. One thing that I've forgotten to say. What am I? A shitty partner. That's what I am. We are also sponsored by Internet. I almost forgot that. It's kind of bad. You can see it. You know, it's been on the screen all along. That's why I didn't need to say it. This event is sponsored by Internet for the second time running. Like we got a huge sponsorship in December. We renewed it from March, and we're gonna keep renewing that going onwards because Mela and I are in this together. Always going to our internet, you know, with our heads down, being like, "Toss a coin, please." We in here, we got our people some gems, so the winners can also expect to get a hefty sum of gems. Congratulations to all of them. Thank you once more to our internet, who've been actually very, very nice in the organization of this event. Lots of back and forth. Great ideas from all around, good publicity, you know, Twitter post, blog post, everything happened. Thanks to them for following us on this journey. With all of this said and done, Mela, since I do not have the rights, I will be relying on you. Would you do me the honors of hosting the mighty Teapot? Or well, raiding him?
For sure.
Thank you, Mela.
Raid has started.
The raid is ready. And yeah, with this, goodbye everyone. Thanks again for tuning to the stream. Thank to you again, Mela, for providing the stream and for being an amazing co-host.
Thank you for having me. And also, for all the people in the chat, join the Raid League Discord, go check out the website, go watch the YouTube channel. If you missed the first part where the Largos was mentioned and Mura was commenting, you can go on the YouTube channel. It will be uploaded there tomorrow, in the next few days. You can watch all the VODs over there. And also, come join the Raid League. Come participate, make a team, start competing, get some loot, get some gems, get some mystic coins. Go kill Doom CM very quickly.
Yeah,
and
especially that.
join all the events and start raiding. I'll see you guys tomorrow, and we'll see you guys next month, or, well, a little bit sooner with the boss draws. I guess. Enjoy the next stream. Goodbye.
See ya.